let's get started. And now it's time to show you how to hook some PS3 remotes up and get some multiplayer going for certain games. In this example, I'm going to use NHL 94. I know a lot of the Europeans don't know anything about hockey except the Swedes, the Finlandians, and maybe some Latvians as well. But maybe you want to play FIFA 96 or something and use some multiplayer. So here we go. Again, I'm using NHL 94. If somebody from Nintendo is watching and they're like, how are you playing on this SNES? That's illegal. Well, you can suck it. I got the actual game myself, so I'm allowed to have the ROM. Now, if you're a first-time watcher of this and you got a new SNES Classic and you're like, great, I'm going to play some 4-player, and then you go, well, what the heck, how did he get NHL 94 on here? That's another video that you need to watch. There's 500 of them out there on how to modify your SNES Classic. Probably get one of Patton's. Just go to Patton Plays, and he'll show you how to do it, or somebody else if you want. But give a little prop to Patton and a little plug. So here we go. I'm going to show you my setup. Okay, your setup can be different on what you're going to use in order to get 4 controllers working, and how you're going to get 4-player going. But I am going to show you what works for sure, because this is what I use. Okay, let's start with what you're going to need to plug in 4 controllers. You're going to need an OTG hub adapter. I use this one right here. It's an Initech, okay, card reader plus hub. You can Google it on Amazon, and you can buy one 10, 11 bucks or something like that. Very cheap, okay? Well, now you might be saying, well, how do you plug that in, and how does it work? And I don't get it. You have the cable, and you got the micro USB. I'm going to show you, okay? But moving on to my controllers that I said I'm going to use. I'm going to use 2 PS3 remotes and 2 SF30 Pros, okay? This is the SF30 Pro, okay? This comes with one of these, okay? These are 2.4 gigahertz connections, okay? They are not Bluetooth, okay? But I really like these controllers, and they're wireless. As long as you don't have, as long as you're not living in the Stone Age and have any cordless home phones around, you won't get any interference. With that said, I have 2 of these, okay? And you can buy them and sync them. They're real easy. Once you sync it, you just push start every time, and they sync up. You can use your regular ones that come with it, the 2, and just plug them in and then use 2 other ones. But I like these, okay? So that's player 1 and player 2. Player 3 and player 4 in this in this video is going to be a PS3, because a lot of people have PS3 remotes and laying around, so you might as well use them. Or you can buy an 8-bit-do. You can buy an 8-bit-do, SNES Classic controller. There's a lot of them that 8-bit-do makes, and you can use those, and it's actually will be easier for you to pair and to do it. So with that said, let's get started. We're gonna go to the computer, and we're going to show you how to set up your retro receiver, which you're going to, I guess I should have started by saying, yes, you're going to need a retro receiver. This is an 8-bit-do retro receiver. It comes with this cord and this plug here, okay? I bought these separately. There might be some 8-bit-do controllers that come with it. I'm not sure off the top of my head. But I bought these separately. They're only $9, okay? Very cheap. and well worth it. Okay, we're going to go to the computer. You're going to have to update the firmware on these, and then I'm going to show you how to pair these with your PS3 through the PC. All right, so we're at the computer here, and the first thing you're going to want to do is update your firmware and download the retro receiver tools for PS3 pairing. Okay, two separate things. I know I had a hard time finding the firmware and finding this PS3 pair tool, so I'm going to show you how to find it and what to do, and then well, hopefully I'll remember to post the links down below in the comment section of the video. So here you go. You're going to go to 8bitdo.com. That's the first thing you're going to do. Then you're going to go over here to support. Right here you're going to see manual, firmware, and tools. If you want, you can download your manuals for your joysticks. But what we're going to do first is we're going to do a firmware update. And what you're going to do is you're going to find your remote. Okay, here you're going to do it for your remote first. You obviously don't need to do this for a PS3, but if you're going to use some 8-bit Bluetooth joysticks like this, you're going to follow the firmware instructions. Download, okay. You're going to download. You're going to find the folder. You're going to open it up. You're going to see the 8bitdo update. You're going to run it, and you're going to follow the instructions here. Update your firmware to your controller first. Then you're going to update the firmware to your 8bitdo receiver. Okay, so firmware here, you're gonna download it, and I'm going to show you how to do that because I got one that still needs to be updated. So we're gonna do the 8bitdo receiver. We're gonna open it up, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that receiver, and you have to follow the instructions here. You have to hold down the pair button of the receiver and connect it to the PC. So you're holding down the pair button first, the red button, while you plug it into your USB port. So we're going to do that, and as you can see, it says retro receiver connected, and the version is 1.11. So this is the one I already did, so I got to plug in my other one. So I'm going to disconnect this one. I'm going to do the same thing with my other one. I'm going to plug it in while holding the red button, and you can see this one says version 1.07. I'm going to click update. I'm going to select this firmware file, click open. It says new firmware version 1.11. Obviously, yes, that's good. Okay, and you're going to watch the progress bar, and it should update shortly. Okay, updated. Okay, so now we've updated our 8bitdo retro receivers. We have updated our controllers, and now we're going to go to this PS3 pairing tool. And again, you don't need this tool if you're going to pair a 8bitdo remote classic, or a Wii controller, Wii U. You don't need to do all that. So you're going to use this tool right here. But before we do that, actually, I'm going to go back to manual because I want to show you something. A good tool for all the remotes on how to pair them is go to your retro receiver here, hit this download, and here's instructions for all these receivers that work for it. So you'll see how to hook up Nintendo Switch Joy-Con, how to do Nintendo Pro, 8-bit controllers. How do you do that? How do you pair those? How do you pair Wii? If you go down to PS3 controller, it's much different. It says download and run this 8-bit retro receiver tools on your PC. I don't think any, I didn't read them all, but I don't think any of the other ones have this specific tool that's needed to pair. And you can see here's a PS4 if you want to pair. All kinds of instructions here. I'll try to remember to put this link down there as well, but you don't need it. I showed you where it's at. It's pretty simple here. So now I'm just going to show you how to do the PS3. And as I said, we're going to go to the Tools tab. We're going to, for me it's Windows, so I'm going to click this, and I'm going to download the receiver USB adapter tool. Okay, I already did it, so I'm just going to go to the folder, and once you're done, obviously it's a zip file extracted, etc. So here's my 8-bit folder for PS3 pairing. Okay, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to open up the folder inside. I'm going to run the exe file, and it's going to look like this. Now, what you're going to do is follow the instructions again. But again, I'm going to make a point. Hold down the pair button when you input your retro receiver. So let's start with one. We're going to hold it down, and we're going to put it in, and it says retro receiver connected. Okay, that's a good start. Now you're going to get your PS3 cable that you charge through your PS3 and plug in your remotes, and you're going to insert it into another USB port in your PC, and then you're going to connect your PS3 remote. I'm doing now, and you're going to see that the PS3 controller is connected. PS3 controller connected. Now you're going to hit pair. Paired OK. Excellent. Okay. So now we have this specific PS3 remote paired with that specific 8-bit retro receiver. Now, again, I had two, so I'm going to take the other one and do the same thing as well. Hold the red button, plug in the retro receiver, and then I plug in my PS3 controller. I hit pair, boom, it's paired to that retro receiver. Make sure you keep those together so you know which one goes with which. Okay? Now, we are done with that, and we're ready to go back to the SNES and the OTG hub, plug them in, and get 4 remotes working on the SNES. Okay, now we're gonna I'm going to show you the setup of how you plug all these into your SNES. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we are going to take this USB hub card reader. Okay, and it comes with a power cord. Okay, you plug the power cord in. Okay, and you plug it into the original adapter that you had. Okay, so excuse the extension cord, but here's the adapter. You're going to take this cord, you're going to plug it in, you're going to see the power go on. Okay, oh, by the way, this is a Wi-Fi adapter here. Yours won't have this. This is sold separately. Okay, this thing comes with 3 USB, so you can have 2 players and a Wi-Fi in there as well. Okay, so then you're going to take the micro USB and you're going to plug it into the bottom here. Kazam. Okay, So now you got power to your Super Nintendo, and you got some extra ports. Some people use them for USB external drives, whatever. I'm using them for multiplayer controllers. Now you might be asking, well, what about the power cord, the original one? You don't need it anymore, okay? It's done, okay? I am going to take, this is just the HDMI cord, I might as well put it in here while I'm working on this. Plug that in, okay? All right, so like I said, we already have player 1 and 2 with this controller. So player 1 and 2 is going to be there. Now, while everything is powering up and powering on, is I'm going to put in my 8-bit DOE adapter by taking this cord that's supplied with it, plugging it into here, and plugging the USB part into the USB port. Okay? So, now once you do that, you're going to see this flashing. Okay, now we've already paired the PS3 with this. Okay, all you have to do now is hold the PS3 button, give it time, and it syncs. Mine starts vibrating for some reason, I don't know. But now you can see it's synced. Boom. Now, you're going to do the same thing with the other one, okay? You're going to plug it in, and you're going to hold the PS3 button that was with that one. But while I got you here, I'm just going to show you, you can pair a PS4 as well, okay? You follow the instructions, but if I recall, you hold this down, the red button, while it's blinking fast, and then you do PS3 and share, and you got to hold it down. You got to hold it down a long time, actually. PS3 button and share, and then it starts blinking, and then it goes solid, and then boom, you're paired with the PS4 remote. Okay, so you can do that too, and again, you can do Wii U or whatever. You know, there's so many options. I will say this: for some reason, I had a problem with the controllers with one PS4 and one PS3. I don't know. Maybe I didn't update my firmware yet when I was doing it. So who knows? Maybe that would have solved the problem. I'm not going to test it now. You guys can test that. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to undo this now because I don't want the PS4. We're going to use the PS3. So okay. Now I will say this: if you paired the PS1 to it, or the PS4, excuse me, then you're gonna have to re-go and do the pairing on the the tool on your PC. So again, I should just be able to turn this on after the pairing is done, and boom, it lights up. This lights up. You're good to go with all four paired. Okay. Now, what we are going to do is we're going to check the game and see how we're looking for the 4 players. So we're going to get back on the SNES. We're going to go into the game. We're going to get into our RetroArch by obviously hitting select and start. Okay. And we're going to go, we have to do some configuration changes for the controllers for this to work. So we're going to go to quick menu, and then we're going to scroll down to controls. Okay. So user 1 device I have as joypad. User 2 device must be the multi-tap. Okay, it has to be on user 2. If you remember on the SNES, the multi-tap was a 4-prong long rectangle, and if I remember correctly, it plugged into the second port. So the second port is all the multi-tap. So once you have that, you can put user device 3 as RetroPad. You can put user device 4. I think these can be none. I didn't test. Well, this one can be none because it worked as 4 none. So that makes me think that these 3 and 4 can be none, and that the SNES will just pick up the joysticks as it is. So, and fool with these settings. Now, this is the SNES core, okay, that we're changing these settings. If you go to Sega, maybe it's different. You'll have to fool around. If you go to N64, maybe you'll have to fool around with some of these multi-tap and settings here. This is just for SNES. Okay, so now we have that. We had all our controls or joysticks hooked up. We're gonna, you can save the configuration if you want, but I'm just gonna resume game. I'm gonna go back, quick menu, resume. Okay, and we're gonna hit start here, and there's all your joysticks. Here's player. This is 1, okay. This is 2, 3, and 4. Start, and I can't 4. You know, I can only control 1, but here's me in the green right here. See, and you know, it's they all work. Actually, I tested them all, and I did have a problem with the PS4 hooked in, that there was some lagginess. So that's why, you know, I say just, you know, update your firmware, you know, update your controls, you know, or just use 8-bit controllers, and you'll be fine. So with that said, guys, that's it. All right. Any questions, write me at the below email, and talk to you guys soon.